There we go. And you are most welcome. I love speaking to this group. I just need to readjust my other work schedule so that I can actually participate on a regular basis instead of just when I'm presenting. Beth Hill Poulin, Socks on the Dock, was what I used to be, and now I am Live Better with Beth. I did a little bit of a brand change because last Christmas they took the socks out of the platform that I am a part of. And although that's sad, it's because of the explosion of the new technology, which is the patches. So I have little 2x2 patches. They can go here. I don't tend to wear them now, but they can go anywhere that you have skin. So as a little bit of a refresher, everything that I deal with deals with what's called neurohaptics, which is the science of affecting your brain through the sense of touch. And that is kind of like a combination between Braille and a QR code for your brain. I do want to share a quick video right off the top that was put together by this guy that he has his own channel of the Nutrition House. And there's lots of famous people that are now on board with Super Patch and the NFL and the Kansas City Chiefs and all of these things. But in my presentation today, I wanted to focus on you and fibromyalgia because you don't play football. So you don't care whether a football player is wearing a patch. You care about what it is that you're doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is share my screen. Where did you go? Here we go. All the clicks. Oops, not that. No, 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 we're not doing that. Just go away. Here we go. So, and I will put a bunch of my information into the chat for you to access later. But for now, I already have it up. So, how the tech works. John Brinkus is this man's name, and he did this video for us. So, let me know if you can't hear it. No?
No sound, Beth.
On average, it covers about...
Yes, sound now or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
21 square feet. Bigger than a typical door frame. It comprises 15% of your body weight and contains 11 miles of blood vessels. I'm talking about the biggest organ in the human body, your skin. And now the Super Patch Company is unlocking the superpowers of human skin. Your skin protects you from invaders like germs, helps you regulate your body temperature, and allows you to feel tactile sensations like hot, cold, rough, and soft. In fact, the Nobel Prize was awarded to a couple of doctors who unlocked the secret of our body's sense of touch and temperature. Imagine you have a tiny team of workers inside your body. When your skin experiences something hot or cold, or something touches your skin, these workers send messages to your brain telling you what's happening. They're called ion channels, and these sensors are the key to a new cutting-edge technology utilized by the Super Patch Company. This elegant and effective technology has gone through clinical studies, and the amazing results have been published in peer-reviewed science journals. and their benefits are game-changing. For example, let's talk about pain. The Freedom Super Patch focuses on pain management. Users of the patch reported a 72% reduction in pain within minutes, and the relief lasts for 24 hours. Here's how this amazing technology works. It's well known that our minds regulate our physiology. The autonomic nervous system and other neural networks, much like computer programs of the mind, control every aspect of our physical lives, from our heart and breathing rates to sleep and pain. But these networks can become dysfunctional or damaged due to factors like illness, stress, injury, or the environment. And when your neural networks stop working optimally, it can affect every aspect of your health. So to utilize these neural pathways, those ion channels, the Super Patch company has been developing skin stimulation technology for more than 12 years. It's called haptic vibrotactile trigger technology, or VTT. Each super patch contains very fine ridges that stimulate receptors in your skin. Think of them as braille for the brain. And the unique patterns of these ridges help reboot a specific neural program. When these ridges touch the skin, the stimulation starts instantly correcting those neural programs, essentially rewiring your brain. We're talking about life-changing benefits. For example, more than 50 million Americans have sleep disorders. And according to the National Institute of Health, insufficient sleep is estimated to have a negative annual impact on the U.S. economy of more than $400 billion. Studies have shown that people who wear the REM super patch for 2 weeks fall asleep 48% faster and get almost 25% more sleep at night. Every year, more than 36 million falls are reported among older Americans, and studies show that balance is the most reliable biomarker for longevity. In other words, if you have good balance and stability, the more likely you are to live longer. Studies on the Liberty Super Patch reveal that it can improve balance and stability by more than 30%. This is all done without drugs, electronic stimulation, or therapy. Most importantly, the patches are safe and easy to use. 100% drug and chemical free. No ingredients or supplements, and there are no contraindications or side effects. It's great to be active. It's even better to be proactive. The Super Patch, backed by research, proven by science.
Now we're going to go back, and I'm going to stop sharing because I like seeing everybody's faces. Stop share. There we go. I have met that man in person. He has that much energy all the time. You almost want to bottle it and say, okay, this is crazy. So how does it work with fibro? Cindy can give you an idea as to what she does, but I don't have a video of somebody saying that, other than if I was to convince Cindy to do one. I do have a testimonials group on Facebook where there are thousands of people writing their stories. So now that I've just stopped the share, I actually want to share one story here. So this is somebody from May. of last year when we had patches. If you go into that testimonials group, and I will put the link in the chat as well, but if you go in there, you may find that there are still stories of people who have worn the socks, because the testimonials group was started back when the original pattern was just in socks. Now we have 12 different patterns. I don't know anybody that has 12 feet or has a way to wear 12 different patches on their, or patterns on their feet. And that's why we've gone to patches. So I've been on Defend and Liberty for almost 5 weeks now. I've been suffering with fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue, neuropathy in both feet. For over 20 years, for over 20 years. Okay, sorry. The teacher in me pauses when there's a period. I'm so excited about this product and what's to come in the future. I'm no longer praying for the day to end to get to bed. My neuropathy is so light. I feel the fog lifted off of my brain. I want to work and create, not just go out and come back home or exist. I think this is a game changer for many. It sure is for me. I was a level 8 pain when I started the patches. I'm at a 3 or 4, and I'll take that any day. All I did was put fibromyalgia in the search bar. And I got, so this is one from 2020. You'll have to be patient, dog. It's your fault. You wanted him. This is another one from before with socks. There is a video. This was 2017 with the socks, 2018, 2019, 2018. But I mean, if you type in fibromyalgia, they just keep going. Just keep going and going and going, and you can scroll through. Okay. So to start, I would suggest, you no longer have to share that. I'm also going to put the links in for these. These are the studies. If you like to read scientific studies, I'll put the links in. You don't have to. There will not be a test. There will not be any homework, despite the fact that I was a teacher.
I'm glad there won't be any homework.
Yeah, I gave up on the homework piece. I have, if I run into you in the grocery store or something and I put a patch on you, then I actually I do ask you to have some homework, and I ask you to pay attention over the next 24 hours, because the patches last for 24 hours. So I want you to pay attention for that 24 hours and see what you notice. The dog's name is Lyric. Can you hear her singing?
No.
Oh, okay, good. Because she wants back outside again. Give me 1 sec. You're annoying. You know that?
We heard that, Beth.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I don't have a patch. I don't have a patch for an annoying dog. And I also don't want to puddle. So so it's easier just to let her outside. Okay, so Liberty is the original pattern. It's the one that's in the socks. So it's the one that lots of people got some relief from with the socks, only it works better. The exchange is, it works better, but each patch lasts for 24 hours. A pair of socks doesn't work as well. But Cindy, how long have you had your socks?
Oh, I don't even know when I first started buying them from you. Has it been a couple years now?
Couple years? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I bought some over the years, like, because they started wearing out and stuff like that. But now I'm due to get a couple more because I'm running low, or I have to throw some out because after so many times you have to, wash them and stuff like that, and they wear out after.
And they wear out, right? And that does happen. It does happen. So the Liberty one puts your body into homeostasis. Thanks, Cindy.
All right, I love it.
Which is better balance, strength, flexibility, and a little bit of pain management. That's the one that I can do a balance test with you, and I can show you the difference in your balance immediately. Homeostasis is what your body is always trying to get to. It's where your body works the best. Okay. that one makes every other patch work better. So I always start with that one because it may be that that's all you need. But there may be that there are other things that are going on in your life. Maybe stress is an issue. I have read a lot about stress and fibro and how they go together. And if you lower the stress, you can lower the symptoms of the fibro. So thank you, Cindy. She beat me to the punch. There is a thing called the peace patch. And there is a new study that's just come back with regards to the peace patch. Again, peer-reviewed scientific study that talks about how well it works with regards to lowering stress and anxiety. Seriously, you put this little sticker. So Cindy has hers, whoops, wrong arm. Yeah. So there is my peace patch. I'm not going to show you my other patches because they're all on my lower back, and that would require me to pull my pants down, and I'm not doing that on a Zoom. Sorry. When I do a vendor show, I always put my patches up on my upper arms, but they can go anywhere. They can go on the sides of your body. You kind of have to play around with A, where they stick the best, and B, where they work the best for you. So peace patch would be another one that I would recommend for people with fibro because of the fact that it lowers your stress level. And lowering your stress level does so much body wide, right? From your gut to your muscles to everything. Actually, I'm not going to put it up. We're going to see if Cindy can figure out which one it is. Fibro might have pain issues. So for pain issues, again, another one with a study, we have the freedom patch. And that one you put where the pain is the greatest, close to. The others that can go anywhere on your body that you have skin. Not recommended to go on someplace like the top of your head where you have hair that it won't actually come up against your skin. But anywhere that you have skin, and like I said, for the freedom patch, it goes best closest to where you have pain. Now, please, if your elbow hurts, don't try and put it right on the elbow, because every time you bend, trying to get to the camera piece, every time you do that, that patch is going to come off. It's like a Band-Aid. If you put it somewhere first and then you rip it off, putting it on a second time is going to not last as long.
Yeah. Okay.
The next one that I want to talk to you about is in this box right here. Nope, that's not it. This one. Sleep. They touched on it a little bit in the video. That's my REM patch. I will tell you that the REM patch, all of them are 24-hour use. Nobody is sleeping 24 hours. Right?
Right.
If you're sleeping 24 hours, then you're depressed, then you need this one, which is the joy patch. But I have been able to use a REM patch and put it on before I go to bed. And then in the morning, I wake up and I put it back on the paper backing. I've been able to get 2 nights out of a REM patch. I used to wear them on the back of my neck, just below where my collar of my t-shirt would be. And I had a small problem in that I forgot to take it off in the morning. And when you do that, you can maybe not be quite so focused and on the ball. And when you go to put the next one on, you put it on in the same place. And lo and behold, the next morning when I did remember to take it off, I had 2 of them stuck together. So I don't know how effective the second one really was. So now I wear them on the inside of my forearm because I don't thrash around and hit like that's not an area that gets rubbed much when I'm asleep. And when I wake up in the morning, I can see it. I'm like, oh, right, take that off. And I have just started playing around with trying to make those REM patches work for 2 nights in a row. I don't tend to wear them all the time. It's my go-to when my brain is on fire and firing and all kinds of different things. Sometimes that actually a peace patch works to settle that as opposed to the REM. And sometimes you have to go back and forth between why is it that I'm not sleeping, right? My favorite, I heard somebody earlier say that fibromyalgia was an autoimmune issue. And very often autoimmune issues are because of something being overactive. And so people get afraid to take something that says it boosts your immune system because they don't want to boost their immune system because their immune system's already on overdrive. What this does, the Defend patch, and she was ready, she knew it was coming. The Defend patch works with your blood, and it takes your red blood cells that are all clumped together due to stress and all kinds of other things, and it separates them out. What that does by separating those red blood cells is that your white blood cells can go in and clean up. It also means that a single red blood cell can go through a capillary. That's all a capillary will take. And a capillary is the tiniest blood vessel in your body. So it gets to those remote regions, but the blood flow can't go if there's 2 or 3 of those blood cells stuck together. So the Defend patch will separate those blood cells. You get better blood perfusion, better oxygenation, and better immune function. I can tell you that I wear that one every day. In fact, I have started, because they're 24-hour use, I've started leaving the old one on and then putting the new one on and then rotating them through. I get a little bit of an extra boost that way. And I use them for my allergies. I'm allergic to cats, and I was able to stay at my daughter's house, my daughter's apartment, with a cat that decided that she wanted to kind of sit at my head while I was asleep. I have a friend whose blood work was horrific. She was afraid that they were going to put her on meds. She'd been fighting against meds for a long time. She'd had liver failure. She had all kinds of things going on. And her doctor called her after she had her blood work and said, "What are you doing? Never have I seen blood work this good all the way down." And the only thing that she had changed was that she was wearing a Defend patch. So there's lots of reasons, lots of things that people have noticed with the Defend patch. There isn't a specific study because we could probably have 5 different ones going all at the same time on that one specific patch. Again, if you want to see what other people have said about the Defend patch, I will put the link into the chat so that you have access to the testimonials group and you can read for hours. Be careful because it's a little bit of a rabbit hole. You could be in there for hours reading. There are thousands, literally, I think there's over 50,000 people in that group. So yeah, I mean, you could be there for a long time. So just, I don't know, maybe set a timer or use a focus patch for that. It's another option with fibro because of the fibro fog, clearly. But at $60 a package for 28 days, the more, like, you start to say, okay, what is it that works for me and what other strategies can I use that maybe don't cost $60 a month? There is another way to get them a little cheaper, which is 25% off. Your first order is 25% off on the website. But you can become a wholesale associate and just always get 25% off. And then that makes it a little more affordable for you. You can wear more than one at the same time. You could wear all 12 if you'd like. I'm very quickly going to run down what the rest of them are. And then I'm going to ask if you have any questions, and then I'm going to shoot it over to Chantal. But we're going to do them in alphabetical order because the teacher in me otherwise forgets things. So we start off with defend. And like I said, that's one. There's a really cool gut doctor. She's a colorectal surgeon who's also on the team. And I mean, if you want to watch something funny about your gut, she's informative and hilarious. Dr. Anna Toker. I'll put her info in there too. Next would be focus, to help you focus. Freedom is the pain patch. Then we have ignite. Ignite raises your resting metabolic rate by up to 25%, helping you to burn more calories while you're sitting here watching Zoom. Joy is the next one. Does what it says it does. Kick it is for kicking bad habits, anywhere from negative self-talk to candy to sugar to alcohol to cigarettes. If it is something that you indeed want to kick, it will interrupt between thought and action. If you don't want to quit, it won't help you. Liberty, all-time favorite. Lumi. Lumi increases the oxygenation in your skin. There's been some great results with Lumi and skin conditions. Psoriasis, that kind of stuff, but I'm not supposed to say those words. So skin conditions. Peace. We have a relatively new one called Rocket. Anybody want to take a guess on who Rocket would be for? And I'm going to tell you, it's not the gender of people that is in this meeting.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Okay, so that's your rocket patch. And interestingly enough, I know there's a packaging. Interestingly enough, the packaging is blue. REM for sleep. And the last one is Victory. Victory is the one, it's very similar to Liberty, a little bit of Liberty on steroids to a degree, although you can put the two of them together. It has a little more muscle recruitment. It is marketed to athletes. So when I have a day when I know I essentially need to be an athlete in order to get everything done, I slap a Victory patch on. That's a lot of information.
Mm-hmm.
So who has questions?
Well, I guess I do.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not that familiar with these patches. I've never used them. So are these like pressing on nerves, or are they emitting something into your body? It sounds like some of this is going to the brain.
Yep.
Which, I mean,
it's all going to your brain, but it's not emitting anything. It's like Braille, like he said in the video, it's like Braille for your brain. So the pattern that's on the patch, that is a series of bumps. I don't know if you can see the pattern on that. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
That pattern is sending messages to your brain. So there's a couple of things that I can use as an analogy there. One is if you are in a stadium and somebody starts the wave all the way around on the other side, it will go all the way around because your brain is always looking for patterns, and it reacts faster to patterns that it recognizes. If you were to close your eyes and put your hand out, and I was to stick a pen in your hand, you would know immediately that that was a pen, because you have a history with pens, shall we say. It's a little bit like, and I can say this to all of you because you'll all know what I'm talking about. Actually, the young people would too. An LP, a record. There's the grooves in the record.
Mhm.
So the grooves in the record, that's your patches. The stylus or the needle that reads those grooves, that's your skin. And the sound is the message that happens when you put the two together.
Mhm.
Does that help a little bit?
Yes, but it makes me ask another question.
Sure.
How and on who or what was this tested on to know that this is working on the brain?
Exactly how. I mean, it started with the pattern in insoles and socks. And so because it's non-invasive and because it's non-electrical and non-chemical, you can test it on anybody. I mean, we've had patches on babies. As far as who, my guess is it initially would have been tested with the CEO. The whole company exists because his mother has MS and he was trying to find ways to help her. He had lots of money and was able to take her anywhere in the world and get treatment. And she finally said, I will not be poked, prodded, sliced, or electrocuted again. If you can find a non-invasive, non-chemical solution, you do it. And he did. So as to his methodology for testing, I really don't know. We're going back 12 years and that's before my time with the company. But like I said, the beauty of it being non-invasive is that you can test it on anybody and everybody. And when I do that balance testing, I look forward to the look on people's faces because they're like, wait a minute, it works that fast? Yeah.
I have an analogy. I just thought of one that might help.
Sure.
You know how they use pressure points, like for instance for nausea, where they tell you to pinch, just pinch, for instance. I mean, I used that in the past just for nausea, right? And no, no medication, nothing electrical, no chemicals or anything like that, just the pressure in a specific spot, because there's connections all through our body anyway. And I mean so this makes complete sense to me. I guess I just understand it on how, because everything's it just makes sense to me. So, but that's so interesting.
I had a random question for Beth. You might think it's silly, but I have to ask. How do you wash the socks? Is there a specific type of soap to use, or can you just rinse them in and out with water, hot water, or what?
I just throw them in the washing machine with everything else. Actually, I put them in a lingerie bag because that way they don't get lost. But other than that, I mean, when we had socks, there were people in retirement residences whose laundry was being done by heavy duty washers and dryers. And yes, those would wear out faster, but they still work.
But how about if you're like in a hurry and you need the socks right away? Can you just wash it with just a certain type of hand soap, Dawn soap or something?
Soap is soap. Yep.
Okay.
Dawn, hand soap, whatever you need. If they're stinky and you need them to smell better, spray perfume on them if you need to. I don't know. They are antibacterial, but yeah, I don't actually benefit from the socks anymore. I mean, I wear them, I get those benefits, but they're no longer on my site. I have to give you a different site to get to that. But Chantal needs to be able to tell you all of the things. Please tell me nobody has to leave right at 2:00, right? Brilliant. Okay. Chantal, I'm going to type, but I'm going to listen to you. You are up. No, you're not up. Not yet? Okay. She's trying to find something. Yeah. So, I mean, you can wear many of them. You can wear just one. You can. It's
Very interesting.
really fun to play around with them.
Mhm.
I like them. I have no complaints about the
I was
socks.
gonna, yeah, I was going to say, tell us about patches, Cindy, while we're waiting for Chantal.
Oops, my screen. Oh, okay. The ones that I use are the Defend patch, the Peace one, the Freedom, and the Liberty patch. I love them because they have helped me over the past couple of years, especially with walking and stuff and balance and pain, obviously. When I'm under a lot of stress, I put on the Peace patch and there it goes, and my stress drops, boom. And the Defend patch for the immune system, I love that too. So that's all I can say. And the socks, I really love them because, you know, I have no problems wearing them. I just go wherever I have to go and gives me a boost of energy. Is that true, Beth? Like, it can make you walk faster than you are, which you,
Yep.
my mom noticed a few times. She's like, you're walking faster than me. What's going on? Yeah, so if I go on a trip or something, I always pack up my patches with me and my socks. So there you go.
Yeah, the Peace patch is great for driving in traffic.
Mhm.
Peace and focus. Peace
I'll
and
take a
focus.
case.
I have another.
Are they waterproof
They are. They're
for
waterproof. I
swimming?
swim with them on.
Okay.
I shower with them on. Yeah.
Okay.
When I take
And they're
them
made
off,
by 3M in Minnesota. So they're
Oh, okay. Okay.
made in the United States.
Did
but
the
I
company start in Canada?
Yes. In Toronto, in fact.
In Toronto.
Okay.
Are you in Toronto? No, you're not in
I'm an hour and
Toronto.
a half. I'm an hour and a half from Toronto.
Okay, but where? What city is that? I'm just curious.
I'm in Port Colborne.
Oh, okay. Because I have I have family in almost every single place in Canada.
Okay, where,
Susan's in Toronto.
Well,
yeah, whereabouts in Toronto?
Mississauga.
That isn't Toronto.
No, I know. But for people that don't know Toronto, it's close
right.
enough. But
Yeah,
yes.
do you know where in Mississauga?
Head office is in Mississauga.
Do you know their address? Because I could.
Yeah, it's Britannia. It's on Britannia.
Okay.
That's cool. It's
Yeah.
close.
Probably get there. I have taken Mississauga Transit before, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure that you can purchase out of head office at this point. I mean, COVID kind of messed with things we used to be able to go and pick up our orders
Gotcha.
there, but I'm not sure how welcoming they are at this point, but
Do you know if there's going to be cross-border fee for purchases?
Oh,
I've gotten caught by that, and I don't know that I'm ordering from a company that's in Canada or wherever, and then and it's nominal. I mean it's minimal. It's not a lot, but it still kind of takes me by surprise because I didn't realize, whatever
I think
it was.
Depends on your bank.
Yeah. Okay.
Credit card.
Okay.
It does.
Okay.
It depends on your bank and your credit card. But yes, I have had that happen. I don't have that happen because I'm in Canada anyway, but I have had that happen with customers, and it just depends on what bank and what credit card you're using.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's minimal. I mean, seriously, it's ridiculously minimal,
But it's annoying.
still. Yeah, because it doesn't show up as part of the transaction. It's always separate, and I've already entered the transaction, and then a few lines down, it's like, the cross-border fee, and it's like sometimes it's 30 cents. Okay, I got to adjust. Just a bookkeeping thing.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to hire you to be my bookkeeper. Chantal, you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I've got notes because I've never done this before. So I just want to thank everybody for having me on. And am I good to go?
You're good to go.
Okay, awesome. So today I'm going to share a bit of my journey with fibromyalgia and how listening to my body, my intuition, and incorporating practices from reflexology, Reiki, meditation, breath work have played key roles in my healing process. So I am a reflexologist and Reiki practitioner. And also I coach women. So I have a website. It's called Resilient Women Soar. So my main, I guess, target audience is women who have had traumas in their life, no matter how small or how big. I like to help women get through them. So I have a long history with traumas since I was 2, different kinds of traumas that I've had to deal with and I've overcome, and I've soared through everything that has been put in my way, and I'm extremely resilient. So I have a lot of stories to help people with, and I like to be the rock if a woman needs someone to lean on, because I'm pretty sure I'll be able to understand and be a good ear to someone else. So the tools I use for coaching are human design. I'm not sure if anybody's heard about what that is. And I also use Gallup Clifton Strengths as another tool. And those tools help me overcome low self-image, low self-esteem, unworthiness, the words of other people saying that I'm stupid, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'll never amount to anything. That helped me crawl out of that very, very dark hole. So I'm going to touch a little bit more on human design later on. But long story short, only the people closest to me knew what was going on, like with the fibromyalgia. So when I was in public, I became a really good actress. So I didn't want any judgment. I didn't especially want sympathy or pity from anyone. So if someone saw me limping or saw my face with pain because I moved the wrong way or whatever it was, I still wanted to do reflexology. I still wanted to do the things that I loved, but it was starting to get really, really hard to put that mask on every day. Of course, you all know living with chronic pain every day is very hard to mask. There were moments of frustration, moments of wanting to give up, but I learned that my body is the greatest teacher. And of course, I would wake up in pain, go to bed in pain, and sleep only if I could. I became determined and stubborn, because I'm so glad I have that in me, that I am not going to let this take me out, and decided that I was going to do everything in my power to not let this keep me down. So I'm way too young to be feeling this way, and I have too much life in me. Like, I have so much energy inside of me wanting to burst out, and I need to find ways to be able to live. I don't want this. Yes, I have fibromyalgia, but I don't want it to consume me in any way. I'm not sure if you all feel the same way, but you just want to live, right? Like, just find ways to cope. I don't do medications. I'm totally against it. I got told that there was 2 medications I can go on. One would destroy my liver, and the other one would give me leukemia. I'm like, no, I'm not interested. I don't want any side effects. I already have enough shit going on. I'm sorry, can I swear? Stuff going on in my body that I don't want to add on to more crap. Like, I just don't need it, right? So I just, even my wins, like celebrating my little wins. I stopped walking because walking hurt so much. Like, if I tried to walk, like, the initial pain I would get in my stomach, and then it would go to my legs. And I'm like, you know what, it's not worth it. I don't want to walk anymore. So I just didn't for probably a year and a half, maybe, yeah, 18 months, about that. And I went to see the physiotherapist not too long ago, a week and a half ago. And she's like, you just need to break it down. If you can't do 10K anymore, then do 1K. Do what makes you feel accomplished. And I'm like, yeah, I need to start like practicing what I preach and breaking it down, instead of just being discouraged that I can't do what I used to do, and just be happy with the little bit that I can do. It doesn't make me a failure that I can only walk 1 kilometer. What is it in miles? I'm not sure. 1 mile is 2.2 kilometers, I guess. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So with that being said, like as women, we often try to do it all, but fibromyalgia has forced me to adapt and be a little bit more flexible with my expectations of myself. So like learning to listen to my body and allowing myself to flow with what feels right. So if something doesn't feel right, I just don't do it, or adjust it. The biggest thing for me, I found was how food impacts how I feel. The food we put in our bodies play such a significant role in how we feel, especially when managing chronic conditions like fibromyalgia. 2.2 pounds to a kilometer. What was that for the mile?
1.6 kilometers is a mile. 2.2 pounds is a kilogram.
A kilogram. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I gotta learn more of that stuff.
It's easier.
Yep.
All you have to do is move the decimal point that way or that way.
Yep.
And think of, I tell Cindy this all the time. Think of the metric system in terms of money. Because when you think about it, you take cent and then you take meter, and how many cents are in a dollar? Well, that's 100. So there you go.
Yep. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
Yep.
I think Chantal and I were in the age where it just switched. And so we never really got in one vein or the other. Right?
Me too.
My parents are in a different metric system than I am, like pounds versus kilograms. And so like certain things I know pounds, some certain things I know kilograms. Like it just
well yeah, it's because of the United States, sorry guys, that we still over here have to keep using your system that you fought a country to get rid of, but you still insist on using their system of measurement. Which never makes sense to me, but anyway.
Yeah. So I want to tap in, in my journey, how I've realized how much food impacts pain and inflammation in my body. So it took me some time to make the connection, but eventually I understood a lot of the foods I was eating was contributing to my inflammation. So when there's inflammation, there's pain. So I was doing a lot of emotional eating to the foods that I shouldn't be eating. But the more I was getting emotional, the more I would eat the shit, and the more I'd feel like crap, and then I would feel like shit even more, like mentally and physically, because I'm like beating up myself. I know I shouldn't eat that, and I gained a pound, and then I gained that pound, and then that makes me feel worse physically, and it was just like this vicious circle. I just had to stop it. And eventually I'm like, I'm educated in this stuff. Like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing to myself. And then I had to go in my memory bank and like 20 years ago of all the things I learned about foods. And this one book that impacted me back then that I had to bring back into my life that was sitting on my shelf was called Eat Right for Your Blood Type. I'm not sure if anybody has heard of that book, but that was like a game changer for my fibromyalgia. And I notice instantly if I put that food in my mouth and I'm not supposed to, it's like it brings back that swelling. My fingers go like really fat. I can't move my rings. Like, so I need to keep a list of those foods at the forefront of what I should be eating for my blood type. And it helped. Like, I want to say within 3 days, the inflammation started to go down in my body. The pain is not gone by far, but it helps me with the pain management. So I created a 7-day meal plan, and it focused on the foods that my body can tolerate. And then within that 7 days, I think I lost 4 pounds. So I'm plateaued at 5 pounds, but I still feel better, right? So with that, like I encourage everyone to practice intuitive eating. So noticing, like be cognizant of the foods that you put in your mouth and how your body feels after you put that food in your mouth. Does anybody relate with any of this? Like, does anybody understand how the foods affect us, like our pain and inflammation? I'm open for everybody to comment.
Well, I've studied at Schoolcraft, which is our local school college here. It's highly rated in its classification. And I studied years and years ago when I started getting issues. I got into nutrition and I studied it. It's very complicated.
It is.
People don't realize it gets into basic chemistry. I mean, it's more complicated than you think.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely do feel what you eat affects you, and it can be good or it could be bad. And more and more information comes out all the time. I mean, things I didn't know about then. It's constantly there's different things coming out in the way our foods are raised. Sometimes you don't know what you're eating.
Absolutely not.
And you really need to learn. And
Yep.
Even my doctor, I mentioned something to her. I had my yearly physical a few days ago, and I asked her if she knew about this thing about oils and that, and she didn't. And I said, well, I'm going to give you a copy. I got it from the source of it is one of the local hospitals, which is Henry Ford. I went to a lecture, and they're very highly rated in my mind. And this is like a offset of them. They have a specialty for vision. And I said, I'm going to give that to you. So I already made a copy and I'm going to give it to her. So I'm with you all the way. Believe me.
We could have a whole presentation just on the foods that we put in our mouth and where foods are coming from. They're talking about making food with machines. Like help me out, someone. Brain fog. What are those machines that the 3D printing? They've proven this could be a whole another one. They've made a steak from 3D printing and you can't even tell the difference. They've put the flavor in there, the color in there. Anyways, I don't want to go there right now because we'll be here all day talking about just the foods that we put in our mouth. But just pay attention to your body. Pay attention to what you're craving, what your sensitivities are, how you feel after you eat certain foods. Like start a journal and see what may or may not have to be eliminated from your diet. Like if you're craving those salty chips, yeah, that's it. I have it too. And it's online too. So if you don't have the book, you can research it all online. It's all open. It's all free. Like if you're craving like this crunchy, salty foods, right? Why are you craving that? Right? Is it something emotional that you need to attend to? Like, is there something going on in your life at that time that you need to go and figure out and get that under control to stop you from doing those emotional eating, right? Whatnot. That's just things that have helped me. So everything that I'm sharing is stuff that has helped me, but everybody's different, right? You got to do what's good for you. I only have suggestions from what my life experience is, right? Learning to follow your intuition, for me, it's been life-changing, and dealing with fibromyalgia. Like our bodies know what it needs, but sometimes we're not listening. So, to develop your intuition on that, meditate, journal, do some quiet time, right? Start small, ask yourself what your body needs, and then really listen, right? If you feel that there's something going on, sit quietly and then ask yourself, close your eyes and be like, okay, show me what needs to be shown. And then don't just get impatient, get up and, expect it to happen, just sit there like 20, 30 minutes, even if you have to, even 5 minutes, if you're just new to it, and the answers will come to you and it'll be able to help you. Like it's your intuition, like your body knows it's you, right? So, things that are really, really beneficial for fibromyalgia is also Reiki. Reiki's been an incredible tool for me in managing my fibromyalgia. So like when I'm doing Reiki healing on others, I also do it on myself, right? It's like it kicks back to me. Or, you know, this morning I woke up and I was very, very sore. So I just, before I started my day, before I did anything, I sat on the couch and I closed my eyes and I did Reiki on myself. And I just followed where I felt like I needed to give myself a little bit of loving, right? When I'm in pain, Reiki helps calm my nervous system and it creates a sense of peace, making the pain feel more manageable. So by focusing on areas of discomfort, Reiki supports my body's natural healing process, right? Same thing with reflexology. I do reflexology for others, but I also do it for me, right? Like the pressure points you were talking about, right? The pressure points are everywhere in our body. You can do acupressure, or you can have someone do reflexology on you. And you can also, like this could be a whole other class that we can do, a whole hour on learning how to do self Reiki and self reflexology, right? So, right, whenever I have a headache, I don't know if you guys can see me okay. So whenever I have a headache, the pressure points on your tips of your fingers is your head, right? It represents your head. So I start on my right thumb and I turn and I turn and I do both directions. And I'll do this to each of my fingers and I will repeat it until it's gone, right? Each of them. And then go to the other hand once you're done that one. And then you start on the thumb. And then you just do circular motions like this, right? All the way across. And then repeat as many times as you want to, but that will relieve your headache, right? If you're stuffed up, there's a pressure point right here, right? Like if you've got like really bad head fog, there's a point right here. If it's tender, can you see what I'm doing? If it's tender in here, that means there's a blockage. That means you need to work on that. So if it's like sensitive, so if it's too sensitive, start slow, but just push on it, right? And then do it on the other side too, right? That helps with also nausea in that same area. So there's different things that you can do to help yourself instead of like running to that medication. Sometimes we have to, right? Because it's unbearable, but that'll help, right? Breath work. Oh my goodness. I saw that post that you posted about the breath work and I'm like, yes, breath work is so important. We don't understand how much our breath affects us. So for example, I went to the doctor's probably about a month ago and the doctor's like, you have to come see our nurse and you have to start coming every week for blood pressure checks. And I'm like, no, like there's a lot of stress going on in my life. There's so much going on. I'm like, I'm not going to have to start coming. And anyway, so I went to see the nurse, Lena, right? And I'm sitting in her office and she did the first blood pressure. And she's like, yeah, see, this is the number we don't like. And I'm like, I'm not taking medications because she's trying to convince me. And she goes, yes, you're young, but you know, this is when we need to start taking the medication so it doesn't get out of control, blah, 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 blah. Right? Whatever we do now affects when we're 70. We want your heart to be healthy, whatever. I'm like, Lena, I'm not taking medications. I don't need medications. So by the second one, so like I'm just doing my breath work in her office. Second one was better. But by the time she got to the fourth one, she's like, yeah, no, you don't need medication. I'm like, I told you, I don't need medication. But that shows that when we do the breathing and we just focus on something other than the issue, which is pain, blood pressure, right? Thinking about this stuff will raise our blood pressure. You know what I mean? So please look at that post about the breath work and start practicing that. I highly, highly recommend it. Am I good for time?
I think so. It's 2:20 p.m. right now here. So
Yes, here too.
yeah, so we can start getting first getting brain fog. I'm sorry. Maybe it's nerves too. I guess if you want to continue your presentation, or we can start taking questions from the rest of the group. It's up to you, Chantal.
I'd like to cover one more thing if that's okay with everybody else.
Okay.
So I'd like to talk about how human design has also helped me with fibromyalgia. So human design is like a personal roadmap. I should have put something to share for on my screen, but if anybody's curious about what human design is, you can go and check my website out, and I have detailed information. I'm just going to quickly go through it. So human design is like a personalized roadmap showing us how we're wired to function and make decisions and interact with the world. So there's 5 different energy types. So there are generators, manifesting generators, projectors, manifestors, and reflectors. So as a generator, I'm a generator. I'm meant to respond to life, not initiate, which has helped me manage my energy with fibromyalgia by focusing only on what truly lights me up. Okay. So strategy and authority. So these guide us in making decisions and how interacting with others. So following my strategy and authority has made me handling chronic pain much, much better. Right. So my profile and strategy, it's very deep. So like I'm a 3-5. So there's 12 different profiles. I am a 3-5. So I'm a great life experimenter. So managing my fibromyalgia has been a constant experiment, and I have to embrace that, right? So I am meant to experience, thanks, Cindy, many, many, many things in life, and I'm supposed to share with people my experiences so that they can learn from me. And that's how I know that I'm on my true path, because even though I've experienced all these things, I'm here to share with other people so that I can help them on their journey, just like it's helped me on mine. Okay? Also, I am an emotional. So my solar plexus is defined. So that means I need time to process decisions. So whether it's choosing a treatment or managing my pain, I give myself space to wait for clarity, to make sure that that treatment is the right one for me, right? So that's just a brief overview on how my human design has helped me with my fibromyalgia. So we can do like a whole other class on that if anybody's interested on how it affects them, like you guys, right? So we touched on the breath work. I'm gonna move quickly through this because I know everybody needs to go. So breath work and meditation combined with following my human design have been transformative in how I manage my fibromyalgia. When the pain is really bad, I take deep, intentional breaths and remind myself that my body is speaking to me, right? In those moments, I allow myself to pause, regroup, and I realign. Okay, so I encourage you guys to look at your own human design and see how it can guide you in making decisions, managing stress, and aligning with your natural flow. Okay, so I just want to say the impact of trauma and physical injuries, right, how it's affected me. So fibromyalgia is not just a physical condition, it's also deeply tied to an emotional and mental health. So past traumas, physical injuries can play a significant role in how fibromyalgia manifests in our bodies. So whether it's a big trauma or something that may seem small, our bodies hold out these past hurts and they can create tension, pain, and even flare-ups. So who's heard of that book from Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life? Has anybody heard of that book?
I've heard of her, but not the particular book.
Okay. So I would like highly, highly, highly recommend that book, You Can Heal Your Life, Louise Hay, because she explains in there the pain associated in our body with traumas, things that we've lived through in our life, and it will show us from where the pain is what we need to heal. So, something, okay, I'm going to show you an example. I'm going to get a little bit personal. So I have pain from my elbow to my hand, okay, and it's my right hand. So this is also in Reiki. So it all intertwines. So this is associated to my boyfriend.
I'm sorry, it's associated to your what?
My boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
Because I need to let him go. And I'm holding on to him. And I have a feeling that when I let him go, this will disappear. But I'm holding on to something that's not meant to be. So I've got tightness, tingling, pain, all from here up, right? So in the book, it explains pretty much that. But that's my association to it because I know what it is, but I'm still torturing myself. Anyways, that's a little bit of my little story. So the importance of healing past traumas, it's so important to work on healing our past traumas because no matter how big or small they are, if we don't release them, they will stay stored in our bodies and showing up as physical pain. So we carry energies of these past wounds with us, and if we don't learn how to energetically remove and release them, it can affect how we manage our pain. So there's you can do EFT tapping. Have you guys heard of tapping?
Yeah, I have.
Yep. So tapping is a good thing to release. Beth's patches. Oh my gosh, Beth's patches are so amazing. Yeah. Yep. We have an amazing tapper in our group, don't we, Beth? Angelina Castro. She's a tapper.
Of course, I'm talking and I realized I was muted. Cindy,
Yeah.
have you had somebody do a presentation about EFT?
Yes, I believe we did before. Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to say one last thing. So I found that healing isn't just about addressing the physical body, it's about tapping into our emotional and energetic bodies as well. Through gentle methods of releasing stuck energy and trauma, we give ourselves the opportunity to heal, not just the physical, but emotionally too. And I'm done. Thank you so much for having me. I'm opening up to questions.
Well, thank you to the both of you, by the way. Excellent presentations. Great job.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I had a question. The one between the finger and the thumb, that's reflexology, right?
It's a pressure point. It's acupressure.
Acupressure, because you talked about reflexology and Reiki. So
Yeah.
it's not one of those, that move or that
So it's part of my hand reflexology course that I took, and they taught the acupressure points.
Oh, okay.
And there's many of them, but we could do a whole other class on hands, hand acupressure, pressure points, hand reflexology, how we can help ourselves get through the pain that we're going through, right? If there's pain in our body, we can learn of association as to where it is in our hand that we can work on, right? If we have stomach issues, right, we can go in there. If we have neck issues, it's all in here, right? If we have tension, we can just massage in this area, right? It's in our thumb as well, right? So there's lots of tools we can use on ourselves to be able to get through whatever it is we're going through.
Where is that for the neck? It's at the base of the thumb.
So where your fingers meet your hand. So all along there. And mine is always like, it's so tender. I have to do it gently because it hurts so much. Right.
Does that include the thumb then, or just the
Correct.
4 fingers? Oh, all of everything.
Yep. All where the fingers and thumb meet the hand.
Oh, okay. And
right.
I had another question, unless somebody else wants to go. Nobody? Okay. You talk about Reiki. I do Tai Chi, and I was wondering what exactly is Reiki. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I've heard of it, but I don't really know it.
So Reiki is energy healing,
and
it's through the energy. You can do it distant. So like I do distance Reiki, and
yeah.
Sorry?
I was just going to ask if you do it at a distance.
I do. So my mother-in-law, funny story. Okay, sorry, I'll get back to that in a second. My mother-in-law ended up in the hospital, and the doctor called us all in and said she's not going to make it through the night. So while she was at the bedside, I was standing beside her and I was holding her hand, and I asked her higher self, because you need permission to be able to do an energy exchange. You can't just do something without somebody's will. So she was not conscious. And I asked her higher self internally if I could do Reiki on her. And I did my little signals that I usually do. And then I activated the Reiki, the energy from my hands. And I was secretly doing it so that nobody else in the room saw me. I didn't want to, because my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, they're not the nicest people anyways. And they're like hokey pokey. Anyways, doesn't matter. So I left my hand there the entire time we were there, and I can feel the heat exchange from me to her. And then when I came home, I did some more distance Reiki. Like I had like a picture of it's her left lung that was affected, and it was covered in fluid outside the lungs. So it was pressure on there. Plus she had strep pneumonia. So I had my hands like this, and I just closed my eyes, and then I could feel the energy exchanging through us, like through my hands, through her to the other side. And I just did that for a while, probably like 20 minutes. And then the next morning when we woke up, she was awake. She was eating. She was hungry.
Yes.
She was on her deathbed. Like, say goodbye. Like nothing was working on her.
Wow.
I know what happened. Like it's not me that did it, right? It's energetically like higher power, whoever, right? Whoever you believe in, God, universe, whatever it is you believe in. I was like, wow. So, and I've done her feet. I did her feet reflexology, and she just keeps getting better. And then I keep doing Reiki on her every morning. And she's in a ward now. She's out of ICU. She's eating. She's better spirit. She's watching TV now. Like, so energy is amazing. It's a beautiful thing. just want to say it's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. And it helps me with my pain, right? Like while I'm doing her, I'm doing me. Like I'm doing my neck, okay, and I'm like, okay, from my front of the top of my spine, the bottom of my spine, just please help me get through this day, relieve this pain. And then I just wherever I'm feeling like the most pain, I'll just focus on that, and it helps. It helps me get through my day. Anyways, anything else?
My brother-in-law shared with me, he's going through physical therapy, and one of the doctors said, if you've got this craving for chips and stuff, just put a tiny itty bitty little bit of salt on your tongue, and it's like whatever you have, just try to make something a better choice. And if you still need it at the end of the day, have a little bit more, but you're not taking in what you'd be doing emotionally eating. So anyhow, my husband's in meetings, so I'm gonna mute. But anyhow, your talk's been very interesting, and I think also applying hot and then cold kind of freaks out your body with pain control, of what you have. And I've had white coat syndrome when I go to the doctors because I fear he's never listening to our situation. We don't want the drugs. We want, but I just think that it's so important just to mind over matter, to keep on breathing. Like you said, it's emotion. It's interesting. You have this pent up in you and you just get so uptight, and it's just, you have to breathe it out. Good idea. Yeah.
What was that Janet said? Put on the tip of your tongue. Was it salt?
Yeah, just
I couldn't
a little bit of salt. My brother-in-law,
okay.
The physiotherapist kind of came to the house and told him, you just have it tinkle, just a little bit of salt, and just trying to make a better choice on what you're going to go after. Like get a carrot instead of the potato chip. And if you still feel like you have to have salt, have an itty bitty little bit of salt on your tongue, but stop. Don't go with the junk food. So
that's a good tip. But maybe it'll help me because that's my downfall.
Same here. Thanks. Potato chips.
Yeah, I love them.
I just want to say one more thing. I took down my reflexology and Reiki website because I wasn't able to do it for the longest time. But it's under construction again because I'm back in business, because I've been able to manage my pain enough to the point where I do it again. And it was in my thumbs, and I'm like, how can you be in my thumbs? I can't do it anymore because reflexology is thumbs. So now I physiotherapy, and she found the muscle that was affecting my thumbs. So I'm good to go again. I'm so excited. So I'll be adding a new website, and my business is Connect to Your Soul, SOLE, for reflexology and Reiki. So I'm gonna be rebuilding that, and then there'll be some tips and tricks and who knows what. I am on Facebook though for Connect Your Soul and Instagram.
Okay.
And also Resilient Woman SOAR.
And Chantal, I had a quick question for you. What was that medication they gave you that said that you can get leukemia from that? That was it a pain pill or?
So it was for pain, but I didn't even look at it. I said no right off the hop. So I have no idea. I've had so many drugs pushed on me and I'm like, no, I don't want it. Don't give me the script because it's just gonna go in the garbage. I won't take it. Yeah, I don't even remember what it was. I shut down. Nope.
This was awesome, this double speaker presentation. It worked out perfectly. You both are terrific speakers and I love talking to you guys on Facebook. And I guess you guys can post your information in the chat in case some members wanted to reach out to you. And I think Beth said her information is towards the top of the chat if you ladies want to scroll up and get her contact information. And Chantal, you can post yours if you like.
Okay, Beth, you put mine on there, didn't you? I saw Resilient Women SOAR. I saw it up in the chat, but I'll put it again.
Cindy did.
Oh, I did. Sorry.
Oh, you did, Cindy. Sorry. Yeah. So I'll put it again. So it's like, I don't have my glasses on.
Was that it? The Resilient Woman?
Resilient Women SOAR.
I just put it there again. And then, so on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't do that.
No.
I'm not
Facebook.
Facebook, maybe.
I don't do Facebook either.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. So my website is there and there's contact information for me there. And I'm going to be adding my reflexology and Reiki website soon because I do distance healing. So you can always reach me there if you want to email me. It's Chantal at resilientwomansoar.com.
Terrific. And I don't know if anybody was interested in getting Beth's patches. I don't know if you posted the link to your, I think you did already post.
I did. I put my email, I put my my website, I put my super patch website, which really they both should go to the same place. And then the specific page as to how it works, because if you scroll down past the video that we watched, there's a few more explanations, and the studies are at the bottom. I don't know if the Peace Patch study is there. I didn't see it yesterday, but if you want this Peace Patch one, just shoot me a message and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, because I'm running a bit low on it, so I think I have only a few left. I have to see in my cabinet if I maybe had some left over in there or somewhere, but I definitely have to reorder that one.
The other thing you can do is to create a smart ship so that they send it to you every month and you don't have to remember, right? Yeah, unless you want to change up which patch it is and then.
Right. So like, would it be cheaper to do it that way? Like you said, the 25% off
the cheaper way to do it is to become
I think
a wholesale associate. Yeah, we'll chat.
Oh, okay. Sounds.
Did I freeze or did you freeze?
I think your computer froze.
Yeah, if you go to the website, up in the top right corner, it says become an associate. And there's a form to fill out there. And I mean, if you want to build a business, there are optional packages that you can do, but you don't have to. In order to, it's a $50 fee. And for that $50, you get a full pack of Liberty and a 4-pack of Freedom.
Wow.
So
I'll consider. I'll think about it.
Yeah, we'll chat. Me too.
Yeah, I can't do the businesses and stuff because I'm already busy with this group.
Well, that's just it. Yeah, that's why it's offered as, I mean, it says as an associate, which gives you all the ability to do that. But if all you want is to get the 25% yourself, there's no minimums, there's no quotas that say, yeah, we'll take this away from you if you don't buy so much. Yeah.
Well, this is fun. I don't know if anybody has any last minute questions for either speaker.
I don't know. I didn't laugh.
Oh no, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You didn't laugh. Oh, I missed
Cindy and
that.
I have this thing way back. I don't even know how long ago it was. There was a presentation of a doctor and he said something funny and I laughed. And somehow that sticks into her head. I think she may have cut the clip out of that just so that she can replay it when she doesn't feel good.
You know what? I think I lost it because like I think our chats, because I have so many open chats on Messenger. I just have to close some people. I don't know. I probably have to reopen it again or something. But I think it was a comment somebody made or a statement. And I think, oh no, it was a joke or something. And then you cracked up and you laughed really loud. So yeah, that was it.
How is it, Cindy? How is it that we didn't have to switch Zoom rooms?
Because we used mine.
We used hers
Oh,
actually.
okay. All right.
This was like for the next like for open Zoom meetings and stuff like that. When
Oh,
we have to use
okay.
my room or something. I was just
Okay. I
prepared.
was just
Yeah.
realized. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because I think now the Zoom, because they want to add an extra layer of security so they keep
Right.
unwanted people out. So they require either the waiting room or the passcode. Do you have to do the same thing, Beth, on your Zoom room?
You know what? I don't know. I just set it up and there was a waiting room, so I didn't even look.
Oh, okay.
It depends how you set it up in the back end in the admin area.
Yeah, we'll practice on it.
Super. This was wonderful. I learned so much and I'm very interested in what both ladies have, given their presentations on. It's just fantastic.
I wish you ladies were at our in-person lunch and we had a blast on August 27th. And Susan, I wish you were there. So
Yeah. Well, even if I lived near you, well, no, I guess I wouldn't have been working at the X. So yeah.
Mm.
Everything was great, but the music was very, very loud. I think one of us.
Oh yeah, I had a number of days. There was right next to where we were sitting, there was a wine bar, and they had different
wow.
groups playing. Oh my God. Oh, noise, constant noise. And don't get me started on the air conditioning. I can't stand that stuff.
Yeah, I think Beth and Chantal wanted to know what part of, where in Toronto?
Where in Toronto, which is why she asked where in Toronto the company was. Toronto is big.
Okay,
have you ever my comment though?
Okay, have you ever heard of Swansea?
No.
Okay, do you know where Hyde Park is?
Yes.
Okay, it's near there.
Okay.
Yep. We're actually between Bloor West Village and Hyde Park, more or less.
Okay.
Yep.
Hmm.
Like I told somebody else, we used to be our own village for 40 years. And then Toronto decided well, not just us, but a whole bunch of other things. They just needed to suck us up. And that was that. Because we had, we still have the library, we still have the school, but we also had our own police force, our own volunteer fire department, our own town hall, and stuff like that. So, yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then
Did you lose all that?
Oh. Pardon? I can't hear you.
Who was asking the question?
I don't know.
Beth and I were talking at the same time.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Go ahead, Kathy.
Oh, okay. I was just curious if when her town, when Karen's town got annexed into Toronto, did you lose all your town, services, the individual
the village, yeah. We lost the fire department, the library. Well, it was almost shut down about 25 years ago, but that isn't because of that. It's because it's like the smallest library in the entire city. and they're always threatening to shut us down. But we came back with going, look, we're an ongoing memorial to the 22 soldiers that were lost in World War I. We're a living memorial, you know, and stuff like that. And yeah, so we don't have our own police force. We don't have we still have a fire station there, but it's all run by the city of Toronto now. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah.
This was terrific, everybody. I don't know if anybody had any last minute questions, or we can wrap up. And our next meeting will be on the 26th of Thursday. I think we're gonna have another speaker then, or maybe open Zoom. So I'm not too sure on that.
Oh, yeah, that'll be 2 meetings again. You guys and then the board meeting at the town hall. Actually have 3 because I have she said it's going to be a short Zoom meeting right after this one at 3 o'clock. And then I have to go to another meeting tonight, which is going to be in person, which I like. I mean, this I don't mind because like 2 years ago, I changed from the provider I had to this one because it's going to be worked into my condo fee. So I haven't had any problems really with this. But the other provider that I had, oh my God, I could not stay in a Zoom meeting. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, ladies, I will, if we are all finished, I will kick everybody out and let us all go on to our next meetings.
I hope you can come again, Beth. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you for having me. Nice to meet everybody.
Nice to meet you, Chantal.
Yeah, nice to meet you.